welcome to another episode of B-Movie Euphoria's 31 Days of Horror. I am watching a horror movie for every single day of October. I'm not making a review for every single one of those movies, but I am trying to make as many reviews as possible, so bear with me. Today's movie, by the way, is Death Ship.
Death Ship. It came out of the night. Searching.
Signal him to hold the course. We have, sir. Well, signal him again, damn it!
Striking. Bringing terror in its wake. Killing all but a few. Saving them for the hell. Aboard the Death Ship.
It's a haunted house movie on a ship. That's what it is. This movie is directed by Alvin Rakoff, who I don't really know a lot about. I know that he directed the one very dramatic Peter Sellers film, Hoffman. The movie itself is pretty slow-moving, and it's not overly scary, but there is a feeling of dread throughout the entire movie, except for the beginning. The beginning starts off with George Kennedy playing Captain Ashland of this cruise ship. Straight off the bat, you know George Kennedy is a dick. A big old dickhead, jerk-faced asshole.
Captain, how about a little bow? That'll give a little bow. Come on, Cap. Let's hear it for the captain.
A little music if you please.
George Kennedy is made to go to this party, and he's just bitching about it the whole time. He's in such a shitty mood. Like, what is his fucking deal?
Could I have that, please? There.
Is it past your bedtime?
Richard Crenna, as Trevor Marshall, the up-and-coming captain to this cruise ship, has brought his family along. He's brought his wife and 2 kids. So this cruise ship is going along fine, and everybody's having a great time, except the captain. And then this big, ugly ship comes out of nowhere and just rams right into this cruise ship. And then there's about 3 minutes of footage from another film that shows the engines collapsing and water pouring in. The next thing we see is all of the survivors floating along on what looks to be a bookcase. Suddenly, the big, black, ugly, gross boat shows up and bumps into the wreckage that they're all sitting in, and they realize this could be their help. This could be their way out of this nightmare. So they start going up this stairwell, and immediately that starts going wrong, and that starts breaking, and so they have problems getting on the boat. And while they're getting on the boat, we see a lot of shots of the ship just looking creepy and weird, and the engines moving by themselves, and some German voices, and stuff like that. Stuff that we will be seeing a lot of throughout this movie.
It's not so bad. We're out of the water. It's a nice day, huh? We can clear this mess up, play a little shuffleboard, get a tan.
Oh, the comedian still survived. The comedian at the party survived. But the ship does not like this dude at all, because he is right away taken off the ship by some ropes and pulleys and pulled up into the air and dangled above the water and then dipped in the water a couple times like an Oreo and then just cast away. And then the ship is off and it starts moving and it is gone. Some weird shit has happened. There's no way that they can tell to get off this boat, so they're investigating. The ship's captain is still not doing well, so he's in bed having a little sleep time. The kids are exploring. Nick and Lori are trying to find someplace to bang on the ship. Trevor Marshall and his wife, nothing's really going on there because these two characters don't have really anything going on except Trevor's wife is British. And so is Nick's girlfriend for some reason. There's a projector that goes off and starts showing this beautiful musical, and so the kids are watching it and having a good time. There's just weird noises and music starts playing, goes on and turns off again. There's just this creepy looming presence on the ship, which kind of works for the movie. The ship's captain wakes up and is possessed by the ship, and suddenly the ship is his ship, and he's always been the captain of this ship, and Trevor tries to take control, and there's this scene between George Kennedy and Richard Crenna where George Kennedy's like, "Go ahead, try to steer my ship."
You took my last ship from me. You won't get this one.
I didn't take your ship from you. The company took it from you. And you know why? Because you can't deal with people. You don't know how to handle a crew or passengers.
Maybe so, Marshal. But I know how to handle ships.
And he's like, "See, it's not that hard to be a captain." And it's like, George, the ship is running you. You're not like some great captain because this haunted ship wanted you. You're just a dick. It had a very creepy feel to it. And there's a lot of things moving on their own, creepy music playing, and then Nazis are revealed. Spoiler alert, it's a Nazi ship where they brought prisoners on to torture them, I guess, is what we're supposed to believe. And this is just, it's weird to me because there's nothing that shows Nazi symbols on the ship except for one small room that's just filled with Nazi memorabilia and is really disturbing. And there's even like a Nazi Chinese lantern. George Kennedy is really great as just a dick in general, and it reminded me of another great George Kennedy movie called A Cry in the Wilderness, which I would also very much recommend, which is basically about this guy who moves his family to the wilderness and then gets bit by a skunk who he thinks has rabies, and then tells his son to tie him up and shoot him if he does anything crazy. It's a great movie. This one's okay. Watching it again, there's a lot of George Kennedy just shuffling around the ship. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you the ending because you got to go and watch it yourself. It's on YouTube. So it was written by Jack Hill, who was the great director of Switchblade Sisters and Coffee and Foxy Brown. And it's a fun time if you're not looking for something to really scare the pants off you. It's a slow-moving, slow-burn, creepy, haunted house movie that's on a boat. That's Death Ship. Thank you once again for watching 31 Days of Horror. I am Nick, signing off. Mwah, love you.